recording!
Let me know when we're live.
We're live!
No,
Wait,
I'm not going to let you know.
Okay.
I'm
No.
going to let you ramble.
Hey everyone!
Hello.
Welcome to the Bulls Twitch. We have the Thousand Suns Codex.
Yep.
I'm Adam Harry.
Chase. I'm Stable Live.
We got Jen working the cameras.
Hey.
We got Matt pulling models for the game later.
We're lost somewhere in the warp right now.
We are
The
in
whole
the
game's
Woo! The warp. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So yeah, we're doing a. What are we doing?
We're doing a talk show about
show.
the brand new 1,000K.
1,000K. That's like a million.
No, that's like 1,000 kilograms.
Kilograms? I don't know.
Kilometers.
Kilometers.
Kilometers. No, it's K.
We're doing the Thousand Suns Codex.
Yeah, I don't understand the metric system because
Nope.
we're Americans
Yep.
and don't have that thing here.
We're doing the Imperial system,
Yeah.
but we're not Imperials.
Well, we're the new Rome, right?
Okay. Well, whatever.
How many parsecs are they worth?
At least 12.
At least 12.
Okay.
Yeah. High five on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So, we're stalling because we're waiting for your questions. So, if you have questions about the Codex, please dump them in the chat so we can stop rambling about random things.
We would love to answer them.
We will love to answer them.
We cannot confirm nor deny that we will stop rambling about random things if you give us questions.
We are still going to ramble.
I'm just going to clear that up.
Just we'll ramble about less random things though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
More
we're hitting,
pointed things.
but yeah. So this is hard on the heels of the Custodes.
It's true.
This is less custard involved in this book.
Oh.
But
Boo!
I kind of have an affinity for them actually.
Why is that, Abe?
Well, because my name means the father of many, right?
Yeah.
Abraham. So
Yep.
I've always imagined that these are like my 1,000 sons. Out there.
JR made a really funny picture.
Yeah.
He did 1,000 dads.
Oh yeah,
With
1,000 dads.
Soldier
yeah.
76's body with a dad bod
Yeah.
Photoshop. It was good. I
It's
liked
good.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but no, I don't
1,000
know.
dads.
I'm an old Space Wolf player, and like
Yeah, you are. I remember this.
I know, and like why I hate Dark Angels because of that. I kind of like Thousand Suns because of that. Like,
I think you had a grudging respect.
Yeah.
It's turned to love.
that's
now.
time to love. I mean, I always felt that like when it came to like, at least in the older fluff, I know
Sure.
some of the newer fluff is updated a little bit, but I always thought that Thousand Suns were like the tragic Marines done right.
Ooh.
Right? Like there's a lot
can
of like
see
a
that,
lot of
no.
Marines are like, oh, I'm so sad and tragic and everything,
No, no,
bad,
no,
and
no.
I'm a Dark Angel or a Blood
Yeah,
Angel
yeah,
or something. And like Thousand Suns were like, well, we wanted to be
Well,
loyal.
there's nothing wrong with Blood Angels. Hang on.
I didn't say there was.
Okay. I just want to
They're
clarify.
kind of moody like space vampires.
I mean, yeah, but you would be too if your Primarch was dead.
Can we not talk about that movie?
Oh.
That movie was out there.
Also, they don't glimmer in the sun. Anyway, my point
Wow.
is simply that Thousand Suns. I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think their whole backstory of like Magnus trying to warn the Emperor,
Warn the
and
Emperor,
like,
and
the Emperor's like, "What are you doing? I told you not to do that." He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, but there's this bad stuff coming."
bad
He's
stuff.
like, "I know. I'm the Emperor. I don't know if you know this.
Now you all gonna die.
Now you're gonna die." So
Yeah. So.
yeah,
All right, so first question
we got questions.
comes to us from Isendar.
Of course. Hey, Eisner.
Yeah.
Is this really Codex Space Goat? How
Ooh.
do 1K Suns Marines stack up against Zangors?
Yeah, so we'll get to that. Let's get to that just real quickly, though. If you are watching us over on Facebook Live or on the Battle of Lost Souls main page.
Which we know you are.
Yeah, if you still do that reading thing instead of just watching.
There's some
thing.
buttons
Read
down
stuff.
below.
Yeah.
If you're on the Facebook Live, come over to the Twitch channel,
Yeah.
drop questions, let us know. If you're watching on Bulls, click the little chat button, join our chat, join the thing on Twitch, and come hang out with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, now be gone,
Yeah.
and we'll hang out with the Twitch folks.
Yes, just
So-
Twitch shows for now.
So Isendar, question: Thousand
yeah,
Suns.
it-
How do the Thousand Suns Marines basically stack up
Right.
against Zangors, and
I-
why should you do one or the other,
I mean,
or neither?
I think it's probably not unfair to say that this is Codex Space Goat Coast to Coast,
Space
right?
Goats,
Nice.
coast to coast.
Right.
Yeah.
No. So, I mean, I think that the Thousand Suns are... Rubric Marines themselves are a solid unit.
Yes.
They didn't really change at all as far as I can tell between the index. I don't even think their points changed at all.
No, I don't think so either.
Between the index. The only thing I didn't check to see if the Warp Flamer points had changed. The base points and the points for the bolt gun didn't change.
But I just want to mention the Warp Flamer's so good
the
now.
Warp Flamer is really good.
It's really good now.
So I think the question though is fair. I think that they are one of the better Chaos Marine options, right?
Yes.
But I think like there's infinitely better in my opinion than, for instance, Death Guard or Plague Marines.
Plague Marines.
Yeah, because they kill things. Plague Marines' problem is they don't kill things.
Right. Plague Marines are super tough. You can drop a bunch of grenades and stuff, which is neat. But at the end of the day, you're going to do that maybe once or twice in a game. And yeah, Abe's got a good point. They just have a tough time killing stuff. They're super resilient.
Mm-hmm.
They don't die, but they don't kill anything either. So it's kind of a wash there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Versus Thousand Suns, who
But
a little slower,
but Thousand Suns are also really tough.
but they're also really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I mean, there's still reasons to use them. We're going to be using them this week. We have a beautiful Thousand Suns army in the studio. We're going to be playing with.
Apparently, people weren't happy with our Adeptus Custodes army collection.
Yeah,
so we
I
went
guess
out
not.
and just added water to some Thousand Sun plastic kits, courtesy of Chris and Boof. Now we have a full Thousand Suns army. Thanks, Frank.
Yeah, definitely. But Xanagors really shine in this book, I think.
Now, is it Xanagors or is it Zangors or is it Tazangors? I like Tazangors.
Tazangors. The Tazangors.
The T is fun,
Yeah,
not silent.
The T is silent. Like
No.
the D.
Yeah.
Not
No.
the Django.
I mean, it could be if you want
Is
to.
it? But anyway, so definitely the Gores.
The Gores.
The
Hey,
Gores,
nice.
yeah.
The Gores.
They shine in this book. There's
Yes.
a lot of power for them. Isendar, I saw you asking how many bottles it would take to make an entire army out of stuff used in Age of Sigmar only.
Oh, that's
I'm
not...
actually think I'm going to write that list up for an article.
Yeah,
later
I don't
on
think
this
that's that hard, actually.
week. The only issue you have is HQs because the shaman is technically an elite. So either you would have to use demon HQs and then it wouldn't be a Thousand Suns army, which you could do, or it's really easy to just like take some like a Warriors of Chaos sorcerer and convert them into a Thousand Sun Marine sorcerer and use it for both.
Or take Magnus, because you can.
Yeah, well, but you can't use him in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, but you have a cool centerpiece army unit, and you basically have...
I mean, you probably could use him as like a demon prince
why
in Age of
can't you?
Sigmar
Like,
because he
come
doesn't
on.
have any guns
Come
or
on.
anything, right?
Right.
I
don't know.
Yeah, how many models it would take? It depends how many Mutalith beasts you take, I think. Because they're expensive, and you can take a lot of Mutalith beasts. In fact, that would be the army.
I would say,
Mutalith
too,
beasts and Magnus, right?
I would say, too, back to the question about the Marines versus Angors question. It's the same problem, I think, that Chaos Space Marines have with Chaos Marines versus Cultists.
Yep.
It's all a factor of what do you want them to do and how well and how efficient they are at doing it. If you just need a bunch of bodies to hold objectives, I mean, it's pretty clear what you're going to want to go with. You go with Zangors because you can take a lot more bodies. They have a 5-up invuln anyway.
Right.
So, yeah, and they're pretty decent in close combat. If you
Zangors are really good in close. Much better than the
much
Ruben
better.
Marines.
Much better.
They're obviously not as survivable or as good at shooting.
Right.
But they're also a third of the points.
Exactly.
So that's the real thing you're going to run into.
Yeah.
And I think...
But I think unlike Chaos Space Marines, where you don't see them very often, I think you will see a couple units sprinkled in with Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
Because the Warpfire is good.
Right.
You have the Aspiring Sorcerer who's going to chuck out the random spell, which is also useful.
Which is definitely useful. Yeah.
Rhinos, I think, are going to make a strong showing.
Rhinos are good in this book, yeah. So it remains to be seen to me, honestly. I think it depends on what you want to do. The Zangor and Lytans are actually really great.
That's the guys with the bows.
Those are the guys with the bows.
Oh, yeah. JR and I were really all about those guys.
So I think you could make a mostly Zangor list, a Gore list, and it would be a solid list. And it's the problem... There's a general problem, in my opinion, in 40k, in that mid-range troops don't have a lot of a place. Yeah. You're generally taking really elite things to kill stuff, or you're taking really cheap things to get command points. So there's
who does that, Abe? What army would ever take cheap?
No idea.
Extra military units for extra
command points? Who knows? Yeah.
Woo.
This is mind blowing.
So weird.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's a long answer to two questions there.
I want to mention too, like just on the subject of dual armies.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this model range with the Zangors and also the Nurgle stuff that we had previously and the Khorne stuff on top of that.
Sure.
I love those armies for the simple fact is you buy one army and you basically have one for each game.
One for each game, yeah.
And it's just really nice. Zangors with 1,000 Suns now, you can play almost a straight Zangor army and then take it over to Age of Sigmar. It's fun. I think it's two armies for the price of one.
I think, interestingly enough, it's probably easier to do it the other way.
Yeah.
Like, it's much easier to have, I have a Age of Sigmar Zangor army already.
Let me just port these guys over.
Let me just add, one or two units and take it over to
Let me add Armin, which is pretty reasonable.
Which is pretty reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So I think it's a lot easier to do that than probably unless you are building a Zangor list. Your 1,000 Sun list is not going to easily transport to Age of Sigmar.
No.
But it's really easy to do it the other way.
By the way, Abe's we're secretly looking at your questions. We have a tablet here, so that's why Abe keeps he's not.
They don't need to be secret.
It's not. Just in the middle of the table.
It's just in the middle of the table, so we can both see it. I just wanted anyway.
Yeah. So we got another question out there.
I'm looking at
We
chat.
do,
Question.
but I think
so
Jen's got a
Chaos Swarm
list.
wants to know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you tried to make a 2,000 point, 1,000 Sun army with only units allowed in Sigmar?
I mean, that was kind of what we were
That was
talking.
what we were just talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are gonna try.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna try. You can definitely
The only issue is the HQs.
is the HQ. Yeah.
But if you, like we just said, if you have a Zangor army from Age of Sigmar, you pick up
Yeah.
Armin, you pick up maybe an Exalted Sorcerer or Magnus with a cool kit, and then boom, you're pretty much squared away.
Isendar wants to know. He says fluff question because I know Abe reads the fluff now, and then he did give like the side eye.
Yeah.
He says anything in the Codex about Armon and his efforts to infiltrate the Black Library.
So I haven't read all the fluff in this book. Larry's much more the fluff guy.
Yeah.
I read some of it. I didn't see anything specifically about his efforts to infiltrate the Black Library. It seems that right now his goal is to invade Komora, the Dark Eldar.
I was just gonna
land.
tag onto
Yeah.
that.
That
If
in
I-
range,
if-
she's so hot right
If
now.
I can, if I could jump in there. I don't remember if it was in Gathering Storm previously.
It was
or...
kind of in Breaking of Biltan, but not as much detail.
They have the timeline section like they do in all the books, and you go through that. I like poking through there just to learn what's going on. But Armin specifically, after the events of Breaking of Biltan, Yvraine shows that hey, she can bring back the Rubric Marines from their all as dust state, being animated dudes, into full blown alive again guys. And so Armin has been bouncing around the webway.
And then the Ukraine immediately kills them.
And then she like force grabs them off in the pit, whatever.
She's great.
She's great. Yeah, it's great. It's more like I can do this for you, and your guys are dead now. Ha, and we're out.
Eldar are nice people.
Yeah, they're bouncing around the webway. I think Armin still wants to get to the Black Library because he knows
he always wants.
He always wants the knowledge. He's the best sorcerer the Thousand Sons have ever created.
Yep.
So he wants to be able to do more sorcery. Shockingly enough.
What?
I know. But he's still trying to get to the Black Library. But after seeing that there is a cure for the Rubric Curse, he is definitely a lot more interested in that, which leads us to wanting to invade Komora.
Yeah.
Where he wants to get there to get to the Death Cult essentially and
well,
find out.
He thinks that's where your brain is.
Yeah. He's his Thousand Sun sense is tingling.
Yeah.
But that's where he wants to go. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, the Black Library is the Eldar Shrine of Knowledge in the Webway. It's where they keep all their cool books. Yeah. It's like the restricted section in the library.
Yeah. Guarded by the Harlequins.
Yeah, you gotta
have an invisibility cloak or like a commission from Dumbledore to get.
You gotta be like, can't see me.
Yeah.
And then you have to know the secret password.
Yeah.
It's a frog in a dress, sit on a bench.
Yeah. So I hope actually it'd be really cool if the Dark Eldar book, which is coming out.
Yeah.
Next, right?
It's soon.
It's the next book.
I don't remember.
Out,
is it the next
one?
one?
Yeah, it's Dark Eldar and then Necrons and Tau, or Dark Eldar and then Tau and Necrons.
It's one of those three.
Yeah, so they just announced the next three are Dark Eldar, Tau, and Necrons, and I'm 99% certain that Dark Eldar is the next one coming out, or Drakari, or whatever.
Sure. Drew Carey?
Drew Carey, yeah. Drew Carey's army is going to be
I heard
here.
it's being printed in Cleveland, is what I've heard.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it'd be really cool if there's some more of that story in there.
I hope so.
I'm hoping for it.
Yeah, or maybe I don't know if it'll be more of the story. It might be the same story from a different perspective because they have a habit of running parallel stories.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like a huge continuation, but just to Armin's been messing with the Webway trying to get here.
We've got to get Let's go capture his Thousand Sun boys and torture them. Oh, they're not actually.
They're not actually. Yeah, okay. We can't torture dust. Unless they can.
What if they just add water?
Yeah,
all this dust.
Don't feed them after
poof.
Water and sea monkeys, right?
Yeah. Is that how that works?
I don't know. So.
Yeah.
I hope, and it'll also be cool to see if that book has some more information about how the Dark Eldar are reacting to the Yannari's rise. Also.
That's another big question. I know I've been talking to folks about. I was like, hey, so the Yannari back. We know how the Eldar reacted.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best, but Beltan gets wrecked because of it, and so Dark Eldar.
Wrecked, yo.
What? It got Cadia'd, right?
I don't. Anyway, who knows? Who cares about Eldar fluff anyway, right?
Burn.
Anyway,
that was for Jen.
Back to the book we're talking about.
Questions.
This conversation is for I don't know, a few weeks from now, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, whenever that book comes out. We got another question over there, Jen.
I don't know. I'm not talking to you right now.
Ouch.
Oh, okay.
Krev's right though. The cure for all his dust is a dust buster.
Yeah.
Nice. Navrin's got a question. He wants to know which is the better obnoxious Chaos Flamer, the Warp Flamer or the Plague Spitter?
Well, the Plague Spitter has longer range, but the Warp Flamer, I think, has better AP. And the Plague Spitter, I don't think you can take on a whole unit.
Yeah.
But the best one is whatever the Organ Grinder guy has. The Flower Blight Spawn. The Chaos character who has like the 2d6 flamer.
Yeah, that one's the best.
That's crazy.
One.
That one's the best one.
Yeah.
The Warp Flamer, I think, is probably the best because it's easiest to get on a whole unit.
I think it's the most annoying to use because it's still only 8 inches.
Yeah.
And if you deep strike in, you're still 9 inches away. But they have a way around that. I'm just saying, it's just annoying because it's one more thing.
Matt's over there like, what are they going to use against? What am I going to face?
Yeah.
What's going to kill me today? No.
But yeah, I think the fact that you can take the Warp Flamer in a squad of like 10,000 suns or more, right?
You can take 20.
You can take 20.
Well, I guess you can take 19 in the pistol.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Point is,
yeah,
it's a whole lot of D6 shots that if they get in range...
Don't charge you, just don't charge that unit.
That's one unit, like, I don't know what I would do against if I saw 19 flamers and like, flamers. I'm just going to try to charge you from 9 inches away
exactly,
every time because like, holy crap.
Or you gotta hit them with like the Reaver ability that's like, you can't Overwatch. Like, I automatically hit you on Overwatch. Like, yeah, you're too blind to automatically hit me.
Yeah, you can't hold that button down.
Why can't I hold the button down? You can't see it.
You can't even see it. I don't need to see it. It's a flamer. No, I don't know.
It's a warp flamer. I use my warp senses.
Yeah, I can see you in the warp.
How do you blind dust?
How do you blind dust?
Like, my flashbang grenade, it blinds you. Like, my eyes are dust. Like, how does it get worse than
Maybe
that?
Maybe it's not a flashbang grenade. Maybe it's like a water grenade.
You're like,
oh no, I'm leaking. I can't see now. I don't know.
I got like dust motes in my eye.
Yeah.
Wait, those are my eyes. What's next over there?
Alright, Star-Lord615 wants to know what your thoughts are on the Mutalith Vortex Beast.
He is rad! I love me some Mutalith Vortex. Beast Mutalith.
I like it because it has a chart.
Charts are rad. Everyone loves charts.
Everyone loves charts, right?
I mean, so like, let's look at the
let's just jump over to him. I think he's cool. That's actually a model that
it's an amazing.
It's an awesome kit. And when it came out for Warhammer Fantasy back in the day, I was like, wow, that's such a cool kit. Why is nobody using this thing? How do I use this in 40k? And now I can, which makes me happy in my heart.
He's not that expensive. He's like 150 points.
Oh, that's a Mauler Fiend.
Yeah, we don't have one.
We don't have one, unfortunately.
But,
because there was, shockingly enough, there was a run on them.
Yep.
Suddenly they're out of out of stock everywhere.
I think it has been acquired, but it's not built or painted yet.
Okay, sweet. So when's coming?
Here he is.
El Charto.
Charto. I mean, first off, again, 14 wounds. That's rad. 5 invulnerable save. That's rad. This guy moves fast. He's movement 8.
He also, by the way, does have an armor save of 4 up. So,
4 of armor save.
I mean,
no, definitely.
Most of the time, if you're getting shot with AP, you're using a 5 up invuln. But it's 4 up against smaller.
And he gets a wound back every turn.
Yeah, every turn. Just
and there's also psychic ways of healing him and that kind of thing. So like, he is already totally rad. Interesting enough, not a demon at all.
He's not a demon.
He's just a monster that's been mutated by the warp.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. He's not a demon.
He's not a demon.
So.
So he's got normally he's got 4 straight 7 attacks.
Yeah.
Which do 2 damage and have AP 2.
Which already that's not bad.
That's not bad.
But he's got the weird.
Tentacled maw.
Yes.
So he can eat you with his tentacles, which he does 3 attacks instead for each of his normal attacks. So that gives him 12 straight 7 attacks.
So just some quick math here, Abe. We've got one option where you get 2 damage for 4 swings.
Yeah.
Or we take the other option. This is at his top tier.
His top tier, of course, yeah.
So it depends on how you get there. But the other option is we basically have 4 attacks times 3, which is 12 attacks. I know the AP's -1 versus -2, and it's 1 damage versus 2 damage. Just mathematically, though, I feel like the more chances to wound seems
more attacks is generally better. The only time you might want to go for the other one is like against Terminators.
Sure. Anybody multi-wound models?
Multi-wound models, it's going to pay off on, definitely, especially because they have like a 2 saves, so now you're more likely to...
A 4-up.
Anything that gets through is just going to kill one.
Yeah.
So he only hits on a 4, which is the downside. But he does get to reroll 1s if he was in range of a character dude, because he is 1,000 Sun, not a demon, but is 1,000 Sun.
He's 1,000 Sun, so I don't know.
This crazy beast with the giant vortex in his head, very much.
And then there's the chart.
Which
on top of all this,
which I guess you could use Veterans of the Long War on him. Or is that infantry only?
I don't. It's
I
in
think
there.
Veterans of the Long War may be infantry only. Anyway, so he's got all that, which is already like pretty decent stats just for a I'm gonna get in there and maul you up guy.
Which is cool.
Yeah, definitely like can wreck. And he's tough as 7 strength, strength 7. Yeah. So he's not easy to kill.
No.
Then he's got
he will wreck a light vehicle.
Yeah, he'll wreck a light vehicle. I mean, he's great for just like, oh, you a squad of like Space Marines, like die.
Yeah.
So then he's got his awesome power, and he's got 6 abilities on the chart.
Yeah.
Each enemy unit within 9 inches of the Vortex Beast suffers a mortal wound.
That's the Warp Flare ability, which is super cool.
Chaotic Infusion. You pick a Zinch army from a unit within 9 inches. It gets +1 strength until the end of the turn. Temporal Flux. Pick a Zinch unit within 9 inches of the Mutable Beast. You can reroll field charge rolls for the unit for this turn.
Which is nice.
Or if it's already within an inch of an enemy, they go first.
Basically they get to charge or counter-charging.
Ephemeral Touch is number 4. You improve the AP of all melee weapons wielded by that unit by 1 until the end of the turn.
Which you can use on yourself.
Which you can use on yourself. You can use most of these on yourself.
Yeah, which, by the way, you can do.
We can do, yeah.
So your AP, your enormous claws go from AP 2 to 3, which is pretty mean.
Yeah. Maelstrom of Madness. Pick an enemy unit within 9 inches. Reduces leadership by 3 until the end of the turn. This is cumulative with other uses of the power, but to a maximum of -3.
There's a reason for that, which we'll get to in a sec.
And then Beam of Unreality. Roll 3 dice. For each roll of 4+, the closest enemy unit within 18 inches of the Mutable Vortex Beast and visible to it.
You gotta be able to see it.
Immediately suffers a mortal wound.
So what's cool about this is there's a way to get to go twice on the chart.
So you have 2 options. So every time you get a let's see.
Yeah, every time you get to use the ability, right?
Every time you use an ability, you have to roll to see if it goes off.
Yeah.
And depending on your wounds, it's a 2+, 3+, or 4+. So there is a chance of it failing. To be fair.
But then you can opt to choose one.
You can either pick one to use, or you can roll twice on the chart.
Yeah, which is why there's the cap on that one ability with the negative leadership mod, because it does stack and you can do it twice, up to 2 times. If you have more than one beast,
and there's also a stratagem that lets you reroll a 3rd time.
Exactly.
Also pointing out unstable energies. If it has 7 or fewer wounds remaining at the start of your shooting phase, the range of its vortex powers are doubled.
Yeah.
However, it does take a mortal wound if you roll a 1 when using this model.
Yeah.
And then it can also explode with the warp.
It's actually an implosion.
Implosion. Sorry, you're right. It can implode with the warp. Yeah. My bad, guys.
It sucks everything in and goes good.
So like he's totally rad. And I'm just thinking like even just a basic like I'm gonna run 3 of these together, and then every turn I'm like any enemy unit within 9 inches of all these takes 3 mortal wounds. Like
seems good.
Yeah, just gonna get in there, and I'm just gonna be here. And
also it's not like super expensive. It's a little pricey. It's a
power
power level.
It's like
and
150.
150.
Yeah, which is not bad. Like you could easily take 3 of them in a list, or several in a list, and just be like, I'm just gonna pick this, or I'm gonna roll a bunch of things. I think actually all of them technically do stack. The only one that doesn't. The only one that has a limit is the Maelstrom of Madness, the -3.
Yeah, that one's the only one. But everything else is like damage or like bonuses to
plus
abilities.
Strength. So you could be like, oh, my Zangors are strength 8 now.
Yeah.
minus 4
I don't know
AP.
if they do stack because it's the same ability.
It'd be interesting. Yeah.
Well, double check that later.
Yeah, that may need to be looked at.
FAQ or just talked about real quick.
Even so, just putting a -1 AP on your unit Zangors and it's going to fight twice.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's great. I think you could run him if you were using a mixed list, running like a couple of those and Mortarion together as this big gnaw face, and just getting into the enemy and be like everything in this area is taking like 8 mortal wounds a turn.
Yeah.
Like. You're going to shoot through things. So that's the Mutalith Beast. I love him, and he's a really good model.
And real quick, Isendar, if you wanted to edit or censor this book, a bucket of paint. Just wanted to let you know. Just a bucket. 1 bucket of paint. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Isendar wants to know. Now that Magnus is trashed here, so I read on the internet, must be true.
Yeah.
Should I replace my Magnus model with a Gretchen or simply cry when I deploy him?
Both. And I did see you asked about the nipple horns also. I think you can
They're still going strong.
Yeah, but you can get some good horns from the some of the old orc banners, I think, and also from the from the ogre lines or the
Yeah.
whatever they're called now.
Beastclaw Raiders.
Beastclaw Raiders.
The,
yeah.
Oh yeah, the stone tusk dudes.
Yeah, they got some good tusks there, so
Yeah.
you can cut those off and put them onto your Gretchen.
Nice. It's like the D cup of nipple horns.
Yeah,
It's like
well,
double
but
quadruple.
It's more substantial.
The Gretchen are pretty small, so like
Yeah.
you don't want like
I mean,
Magnus.
maybe they're that guy that just really wants to overcompensate.
I don't know if you could
know,
fit
like-
2 Magnus nipple horns on a Gretchen. Like,
Maybe they want to go for Uniboo.
yeah. Or maybe you
Oh
get,
yeah,
you
it's
get-
just one a Gretchen with a
Just one
giant.
big one.
or you get
Yeah.
2 Gretchen who each have one.
Oh,
right?
one
Oh,
stand.
Together, they are the chest.
I mean, like
It reminds me of the Ricola.
Yeah.
Sore throat. Ricola.
So I think, like, honestly,
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't be surprised if just at the end everything in 40K is just made of Gretchen.
Can we talk about Magnus for a second though? Because
Sure.
he did get some changes,
Good.
which were needed.
That answers Falcon Puncher's question. He wanted to know how Bad Magnus got nerfed.
He went up in points and
Yeah.
power level. He did lose the reroll ones
Yep.
to his failed invulns, which was necessary.
To everyone. Yeah.
Everybody. That's gone, by the way. That ability
Yeah.
that Thousands had where they could reroll ones to failed invuln saves is gone,
Yes.
much to the chagrin of Thousand Suns players, but everybody else collectively side with relief. Yay! Because that was stupid.
Yep.
Because I'm sorry, having a 3-up invuln or getting
rerolling
and
ones,
rerolling
yeah.
ones is dumb.
Yeah. No.
But he's still Magnus.
I mean, he's still going to punch you in the face in combat. He's still going to do really good. With
Yeah.
I think one interesting thing, and we'll have to see with the FAQ this at some point.
Oh,
Because this is an interesting thing people were talking about. Oh, yeah, here's the Magnus we have for right now.
it's a Magnus. We have one.
Woo! Is that people were talking, oh, Thousand Suns are going to have some kind of way of getting around the Smite nerf.
Maybe
They-
there
I
was
mean, they
nothing.
don't. They
there
don't. Yeah, currently.
There's nothing currently
Right.
in here that addresses that at all.
Which, of course, makes sense because that's my word.
Breathe, breathe.
Nurgle, get out of me. I'm talking about Zinch now.
Yeah. Water. Yeah, there's nothing in this book currently that addresses that. Now that official rule,
Right,
beta,
it's still-
it's not even out yet.
It's not a rule yet.
So
So it makes sense.
will they have a preemptive thing in this book? I think they'll just talk about it when that rule actually comes out and be like,
Right.
hey, if they do want to do something like that,
If that becomes official, it'll either they'll put out a big FAQ, and then they'll FAQ. If they do want to have these armies get around that, they'll
Yeah.
put out some FAQ that addresses
FRK
that.
errata something.
Or it'll all happen in a chapter approved,
Right.
where they're like, this is the new official rule for match play for Smite,
Yeah.
and also here are the changes to these 3,
To whoever uses
Thousands-
a watered down smite.
Thousand Suns and
Yeah.
Grey Knights or whatever. So that's not in here at all. Unfortunately, that kind of thing would mean that we'd have to wait an entire year for any
Yeah.
changes to Smite.
Well, we might. I think it's March. There's the big
there's-
FAQ drop for March from GW,
Sure.
and then there's another one. I think July.
Right.
And then of course,
So we'll see.
chapter approved when that comes out.
But there is nothing in here about that. So if you are using the
Yeah.
beta rules for Smite, the Thousand Suns are going
Yeah.
to suffer from that.
Yeah.
Magnus obviously still gets his crazy awesome Smite.
He has an awesome smite. I would use his smite all the time.
Yeah. Because it's rad. It's
Yeah.
rad Smite.
But back to the question too. Again, Magnus he does cost more points.
Yep.
He is not as tough as he once was, but not by a whole lot. I think.
Yeah.
He's still a Lord of War. He's still Magnus.
What's his new favorite
Like
song
18
now?
Moons. Carry on my wayward son.
No, isn't it? It's got to be like the. I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. What's
That's
that?
true.
What's that country song, right?
I don't listen to hip hop.
Oh.
I do actually listen to hip hop, but I don't do country
Yeah.
music that much.
Alright, Highland Cowboy wants to know, are auto pistols and chainswords worth taking on the Zangors?
Chain swords.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so. I think so.
I think it goes back to what you want to do with that unit. We talked about this
Mm-hmm.
earlier. If you want that unit to be a big mass of bodies that is going to go get in close combat, I think the blades are still pretty good.
Blades
because
aren't
they
bad.
are 1 AP
Yeah.
versus chain swords. They both and the blades, by the way, do give you an extra attack, just like
Yeah.
chain swords. So that's kind of cool. It depends if you want to just throw a bunch of bullets downrange with auto pistols. I mean, it's not bad. It's like guardsman
It's
shooting.
not bad. I mean, the big difference, there's no point difference.
Yeah, there's no point
so-
difference. It just depends on what you want to do with that unit.
Yeah.
If you want the versatility of being able to shoot,
yeah.
that's the big. I think that's the big
No,
difference.
it's a big, definitely.
So you're gonna be theoretically you're gonna be picking up those extra shots while you're moving up the table.
Yep.
Versus like, if I just run at you and cut you to ribbons. And it also depends too, like what your meta is. If you're seeing a lot of stuff with a lot of armor.
Sure.
Having
the Zangor blades are better against like a Marine. If you're playing a lot of Marines, they're probably better. I tend to go for volume of stuff, so if I can get an extra 30 shots in, I also think you're gonna have bigger payoff if you, depending on what support you have for them.
Yeah.
If you have a shaman nearby who can +1 to hit, because that benefits their shooting and everything. Yep. I think that tips it over. Unfortunately, we don't have a shaman right now.
We don't have a shaman yet.
I don't get to play with all the cool tricks.
We're working on it.
Let us know if you have one. Let us borrow it.
We're working on it. I mean, we could have just picked a model, but today we won't have a shaman. Maybe later this week we will.
Yeah.
But if you're comboing them with a Mutalith Beast and a shaman and going all hog crazy on them.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine one of them? I mean, we just shaman with Mutalith Beast. The bonuses from that, just shooting with extra AP and extra.
Jen's getting angry over there. She's like ripping her headphones off and throwing them against the wall.
Take that.
Doing it.
What do we do? Oh, does somebody want to see the Magnus?
You're blocking the merchandise.
Oh, you want to see the book?
Oh.
It's so pretty. Look at it. Now you can see the book and Magnus. Look, it looks like they're fighting.
But yeah, so I think that there's definitely arguments to be made for either one.
Yeah.
I like pistols, I guess.
You like pistols?
I like pistols.
I can see that. I feel like, again, if you don't have a good plan to get them into close combat, I think pistols are going to be more versatile.
Pistols are more versatile, yeah.
Just the extra bullets that you can chuck down. If you have it, like we just said, again, if you have a Exalted Shaman with them, helping them out with a buff. If you have the Mutalist nearby that wants to give them extra, it's just more bullets. More bullets. Next question.
All right, Isendar again wants to know, as someone who despises Trader Marines...
This is the whole bucket.
We asked this one.
Yeah.
Bucket of ink. Yeah. Just dunk it in black ink.
Sorry.
Burn it.
You got there before I got there.
Shouldn't it be purple ink?
Chaos World wants to know what Forge World units you think will benefit the Thousand Suns mostly. Are we capable of answering that at this point, or is it too soon to tell?
Yeah, I mean,
what's the Forge World guy that doesn't have a model that all the cast players take?
Oh, the Hereticus guy.
Yeah, him.
No, I mean, like, they're gonna benefit from the same Forge World stuff that everyone else does, basically. Yeah. This is at heart a chaos list.
Yes.
And I think while it definitely can stand alone on its own and can do that better than Death Guard can, I think in general you're going to see this getting played in a Chaos Soup army. I don't think I still think in general, like, I don't think this is going to suddenly change the trend of Chaos armies to just be a big mashup of stuff. Like,
let's talk about for a little bit that subject of the idea of a Chaos Soup list. Like you just said, this army, I feel like the Thousand Suns are an army that is capable, thanks to the Zangors and the other demon units in there, it is capable of holding its own as its own inclusive Thousand Suns only type of book.
Sure.
But when you start sprinkling in dashes of other Chaos goodies, I think that's really where you start to see a lot of the awesome combos come in, a lot of the really powerful things. I mean, just as an example, taking the Chaos Demons Codex. Some of those options, taking Thousand Sun, or not Thousand, taking Tzeentch Demons, which are in the book, by the way.
Yeah, the basic ones are.
Yeah, the basic ones are. But if you, I've seen this happen already with Magnus and Allura Change running around.
Yep.
Even before this came out, that's still a thing that you can do, and that gives you access to a whole plethora of stratagems from both.
Exactly.
It gives you a whole ton more psychic power options.
Well, no.
I mean, they actually...
These guys get the most psychic power options.
They have the most already, so that's a bad example. But still, you get a ton of more casters, which, again, you already have a ton anyway. But, you just get to add in all that extra stuff. If you wanted to go another route and go with, like, Death Guard, Thousand Suns, or, Thousand Suns, Nurgle, or something, some kind of crazy combination, all the above.
Yeah,
I know they hate each other.
I still think you're going to just see mix. Like, you can take cultists, and cultists are still viable. But there's no reason to take Death Guard, to take Thousand Sun cultists. You're going to take Alpha Legion cultists, because Alpha Legion cultists are just better than Thousand Sun cultists. Objectively so. So, you're still going to see stuff like that.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's what I mean, what I'm getting at is this is a book that you can bolt onto your existing army. If you're a cast player,
sure.
It's an also ran type.
No,
of
definitely.
So,
and throwing a few of their sorcerers into your list or something like that is going to get you. There's no reason. Conversely, now there's not really a reason to take, except maybe for some points, but there's not a huge reason to take like a regular chaos-based marine sorcerer.
Yeah.
If you can run a 1,000 Sun list.
Who has access? The 1,000s have access to the Dark Ridiculous discipline
so
already.
they get more disciplines and are just going to be better.
They have access to all three of them.
They
Right?
have access to all three.
Yeah.
So Isendar. We'll segue into your question real quickly here, since that's a good point. He's asking you about the psychic powers.
Psychic powers, yes.
So they have access to the full Dark Hereticus list,
yes.
the full Tzeentch Demon list, and then their own list.
You want to go over those real fast?
Yeah, we'll go over them real quick.
We'll go over the new ones. You guys know what the Dark Hereticus power is.
Yep.
Really, it's just whatever in warp time.
Yeah. Most of their casters can pick from two or three of these lists.
Yeah. The Zangors can't do Dark Hereticus, but they can do the other two.
Yeah,
and
some of them can't do... They can't all do all three, but most of them can do at least two
Magnus
of them.
can do all three.
Magnus can do all three. And there is a stratagem that lets you replace one of your spells with a spell from any of those lists.
Which is... I want to mention that too real fast. That stratagem is really cool because you can change that mid-game or whenever.
That mid-game,
but yeah, Dark Hereticus Discipline of Tzeentch, we've seen those already. We're not going to go over those. What are the change?
Discipline of Change, which we've seen some of them, because the index had like 3 of them, I think.
Yeah.
So you've got Tzeentch's Firestorm. Not my favorite one, but it could be good. Warp Charge of 7. Select an enemy unit that is within 18 inches of the psych or invisible to it. Roll 9 dice.
9 dice.
Rolls of 6 do mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So
on average, you're going to get 1, maybe 2. If you get lucky, more.
You could get crazy. Interesting thing just to keep in mind is that psychic powers do not follow shooting targeting rules.
That's true.
So you can target characters unless it's one that says the closest unit. You can target characters with that. So that's not a... It's not going to do a lot of damage, but if you want to try to snipe out characters, you can be like, oh, that character, maybe
if he's got 1 or 2 left, and you're like, let me chuck... I got 9 chances to get 6 up, so...
Yeah. So then you got Boon of Mutation, possibly my favorite one. Warp Charge of 7. If it's manifested, you get to roll on the Boon of Tzeentch stratagem page.
And then the Boon of Tzeentch stratagem is...
The crazy... It's just like the Chaos Boon.
It's the Chaos Boon, but for Tzeentch.
So you could turn people into demons.
Or, yeah.
Yeah. Demon Princes.
Demon Princes or Spawn.
Or Spawn, yeah. You're going to spend your command point to reroll a Spawn, probably.
Yeah. Then you'll get it again, and I'll laugh at you like this.
Yeah. But yeah, totally great. Glamour of Tzeentch.
Yeah.
Pick a unit of...
-1 to hit.
-1 to hit.
Which is great.
Yep, which is great. And again, now if you're mixing stuff in, this is different from Miasma of Pestilence. So you can't target the same units with them,
right?
Because they do have very specific targeting units. But now, if you have a mixed army, you can have multiple
really
tough
-1,
units. Yeah,
on different units.
So you could have both Morty and Magnus with a -1 to hit.
Because that's fun.
Yeah.
Doombolt. That's the one you're a big fan of, right?
Yeah, I love Doombolt. So again, pick a unit within Warp Force value of 9, so it is hard to cast.
It is hard to cast.
Which this is one of the... I don't know if we've seen a 9 before, have we? That's pretty...
I mean, it's fitting.
It's fitting, but it's up there. That's one... I guess we probably have Bolt of Change is similar.
Sure.
But we don't see a lot of 9s.
Yeah. But why is Doombolt so good, eh?
So again, pick an enemy unit that's visible within 18 inches.
Yep.
Keep in mind with all of these things that in the 1,000 Sun special army ability is to increase the range of their powers by 6, which I had not thought about, but that makes warp time a 9-inch range.
Yeah.
So that gets around that pesky 3-inch range of warp time, which is really big.
Hello,
for it.
warp time.
But good for all these. So again, this one doesn't have targeting restrictions, so you can try to pick out characters with it.
Yep.
D3 mortal wounds, and then in the following movement phase, they must have their move characteristic and cannot advance.
That's the mean part.
That's a real mean one.
It's basically it's a smite, essentially. But again, we talked about the extended range, lack of targeting restrictions there, and the fact that you're mucking up their movement,
which can be real big. That can throw off, first turn charges because you can do that 24 inches.
Yeah.
So you're like, you have that big unit of guys that are going to come charge me on your first turn. No, they're not. They're gonna have that distance.
Or at least have the distance of their movement.
And they're not gonna advance.
They can't advance
which
either.
Can really shut down units getting over here.
Take that, Death Company.
Yeah. So you've got that. Temporal manipulation.
Yeah.
Pick a friendly Tzeentch unit or 1,000 Sun unit. They heal D3 wounds, which is good. Again, Magnus can do that to himself. So Magnus has ways of making himself much harder to kill.
It's harder to hit. Yeah. He can regen wounds.
And then of course you've got Weaver of Fates, which is the increase in vulnerable save by +1 to a maximum of 3+.
Which Magnus can do on himself.
Vulnerable. Yeah.
If they don't have an invuln, they get a 5-up.
They get which is fine.
Yeah.
Though I'm not certain if there's any. Are there? I guess there are 1,000 or 2,000 Sun units that don't have.
You can cast that on vehicles, right?
Yeah, you can put it on a vehicle. Good point. Yeah. So you can put that on your
Land Raider.
Or whatever crazy Forge World unit you could get. So like I'm gonna say like a brass scorpion. Like you can probably totally take a 1,000-sun brass scorpion, right?
I don't think so.
That's probably a thing that could happen. Like the brass scorpions of Khorne seem like the most.
A brass scorpion, Lord of Skulls.
Yeah, it seems like the most obvious 1,000-sun unit that you could take.
From Forge World.
Yeah. That's a good Forge World unit though for your 1,000-sun army. Brass scorpion.
You're just saying that to make people angry.
All you need is Morty Magnus, a brass scorpion, and like 3 cultists.
Yeah, that's a whole army.
That's a whole army right there.
That's like 10,000 points
It's not.
of traders. No, it's really not.
Isendar wants to know what the standouts are in the stratagem department. What's your favorite?
Sure.
Ooh.
Okay, so
We mentioned a couple
already. A couple real quick ones to go over here. I'm not going to go through all the stratagems. Adam, do you have any that stand
We actually went over all the stratagems on one of our YouTube videos.
Yeah,
but,
so if you want to check that out, you can.
Yeah, we went through them all meticulously. I think... Well, the ones we didn't go through were the repeats. So, like,
Sure.
Linebreaker.
I mean,
yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, you've got Veterans of the Long War.
Yeah, we didn't go over that one.
Gotta make it show up. Cycle of Slaughter's great. Let your Xanagor unit fight twice.
Which, again, we talked about if you buff them up.
If you buff them up, yeah.
Man.
You do have to use it in the fight phase, so they do have to survive the attacks back, but still. I think that Webway Infiltration is probably going to be one of the big popular ones.
So Webway Infiltration for me is probably my favorite, but not because it's Deep Strike, but not because it's Deep Strike. It's my favorite power because it's Webway Infiltration.
Yep.
So when I read that, I was like, wait a minute, is that a misprint? And I was like, oh wait, no, this is Thousand Suns.
Yep.
Not Eldar. Why are they in the Webway? Because it's Thousand Suns. They're looking for the Black Library. Of course, they have Webway Infiltration.
Yeah.
It's just to me, like it all clicked.
It's great.
And I was like, it's not a misprint. It's Webway Infiltration.
So that one's really great.
Don't you love Flesh Change? Isn't that the one?
I do like Fated Mutation, which is buffs your spawns.
Yeah. We didn't talk about that.
So Fated Mutation, 1 command point, pick a unit of each spawns.
Yeah.
Instead of rolling the D3 to see what ability they get, you get to pick what they get,
and
you get to reroll the number of attacks they get.
So we'll get to Flesh Change in a second, but the Thousand Suns book has actually made Spawn to me a unit that I'm actually like, I'm very tempted to take them.
10
They might actually be good now. I get to reroll the D6 for their attacks.
Yep.
And I get to pick what they do, so I can make sure that I get the right Swiss Army tool out for the job, and not just like
could pretty easily if lead to you getting 80 attacks with 10 spawn.
Absolutely.
8 attacks each,
which is ridiculous.
Which is pretty. Spawn are good if they can do something like that.
Yeah. The Flesh Change to me is hilarious.
Sure.
We were talking about this before we started filming. Like, why would you ever use this stratagem? How it works is you have a character, Thousand Suns infantry character, right?
Yeah, Thousand Suns infantry character.
And you can just spend a command point
to
and turn him into a spawn. So why would you ever do that? Well, if he's about to die...
He's about to die, yeah.
And you're like, well, he's got 1 wound left. He's in a bad spot. Yeah. Why don't I turn him into a spawn and then at least get a bunch of attacks out of it, or keep him around or something like that?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't say that you replace him with the spawn, so he gets all his wounds back and all that fun stuff as a spawn now. So deal with him twice.
I like Inferno Bolts. It's a cheap one.
Yeah.
It makes basically most of your normal weapons on a vehicle have AP -2.
That's super handy.
Which is great. I think it's really a cheap one to throw onto rhinos that have like 2 combi bolters on them, and suddenly you're getting 8 -2 AP shots.
Yeah, that's actually pretty mean.
Makes them pretty mean. And they're it's if you have enough free command points around.
Yeah. Warflame Gargoyles.
That's another great one. So Warflame Gargoyles. Probably see this today if I can get in there.
Yeah.
Use it at the start of any fight phase. Pick a Thousand Suns vehicle from your army, but not a Hellbrute or Helldrake. So not the ones that want to get into combat.
Not the ones that want to get, but like transport vehicles.
But transport vehicles. Yeah. You roll D6 for each unit, friend or foe. So you got to be careful with it.
You do have to be careful with it.
Within 3 inches of it, subtracting 2 from that roll.
For characters.
If for characters. And on a 4+, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah. 4 up, D3 mortal wounds, 3 inches of the vehicle. Yeah. You can put that again, rhinos. That's going to happen with rhinos. If you have a Thousand Suns Land Raider, that's a big footprint. That's another 3 inches. You just drive them into combat and hit the exhaust button and just flame on.
Yeah.
So
that one's pretty great. Coruscating Beam is not great, but
we were talking about this.
This
is a good example of a well-written rule.
Yes.
And the reason is
So it's their version of Mortal Bombardment, basically.
Yeah, but instead of a template or a unit that you pick.
So it's 3 command points. Use it on someone and your warlord if he hasn't moved. Same thing as Orbital Bombardment.
Just like Orbital Bombardment.
But instead of picking a point and like everything within a certain range of it, you pick 2 points on the battle fence that are 9 inches apart and visible to him. And you draw an imaginary straight line 1 millimeter wide between them.
We like this rule. Again, we don't think it's the greatest power. We like this the way they wrote it because they finally clarified it's a 1 millimeter line.
Yep.
And there's no shenanigans like, is it the length of my tape measure?
Yeah.
Is it the width of my tape measure or whatever? Like, how wide is this line? Right. No. Point to point, 1 millimeter, no arguing there.
Not at all.
It's just...
So
in past editions, they say things like a pencil-thin beam
or something. They would say a line. They're very rarely as clear about how big of a line you draw as they were in this rule.
And that would always lead to shenanigans and arguments and like Jaws of the World Wolf was stupid. So you know.
So I love that they were very clear about how big the line is. And then if units are passed over, they might take some mortal wounds. It's not very good.
Yeah, it does have the possibility depending on how your opponent has their list, their units stacked up, you could theoretically hit multiple units, which is cool.
But it's like on a 4+ to take 1 alone.
It's not bad. It is for 3 command points. I don't think it's worth 3 command points.
And you can't move or shoot.
You can't move or shoot, so you're losing out on all that damage potential.
If you are in a weird situation where the enemy has like 20 units that are in a straight line in 9 inches of each other, you're like, go for it.
Go to town. That's awesome.
You're gonna kill some You're gonna kill some guards people at that point.
But most of the time, it's not.
But I do agree with you also, Isendar, that there is a lot of potential for good mortal wounds in this book.
There is.
Aside from just the stratagems, they have access to 18, 19 psychic powers. A lot of those could be mortal wounds. I still think
the Death Guard have the option for generating more mortal wounds, right?
Death Guard probably do, simply because of their grenades.
Yes.
That can do mortal
pretty
wounds.
much.
But no, Death Guard probably do have more options for mortal wounds, but I think that these ones are easier to pull off than Death Guard.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
You can do a lot of these. I mean, you can do all the psychic power ones at 18 inches.
And don't forget, they get an extra 6 inches to all their psychic powers. So that's pretty saucy.
Yeah. So we got another question over there?
Cardoff Bauer wants to know, do we know yet when Edgelord Eldar Codex is being released?
We don't have a date. I would guess probably within the next month.
I mean, based on the speed that they're putting out these codexes, we might see it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It's a Saturday, right?
Right over the TS, we're going right into Drew Card.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been announced. This book is coming out. I mean, they have not waited more than a month between books.
They've been really fast about. They do like every 2 weeks. It feels like they're going to get new codex.
It's been roughly 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. That's not official. We don't know that or anything. We don't have the actual release date or anything like that. But
pure speculation.
Yeah. But pure speculation.
If they keep going how they've been going,
if they go, I would guess sometime next month.
I feel like by July, which will be the 1-year anniversary of 8th edition, we're going to have almost all the codex.
I mean, they've said everything's
at this rate.
They said everything's going to be out by the end of this year. That was something they said at the LVO. Or seminar, which we heard they said that.
We had Goatboy on the scene.
Yeah, I would guess it's going to be out well before the end of the year, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, my personal bet here is that they've announced the next 3 books, and I would expect all 3 of those books to be out by the end of March.
Maybe.
Because Adepticons comes up then, and they said they're going to announce new stuff then. Which to me would be the next 2 books in Adepticon.
You gotta keep in mind, it depends on how they release stuff.
It does.
Because they are doing, we don't talk about this very often, but they are doing some Age of Sigmar stuff.
I
think it's
stuff.
really
interesting.
No,
definitely.
The Malign Portents event is supposed to kick off, I think, in February. They're already doing the musters for that. So that's supposed to get a book. The Daughters of Cain, which is all the witch elves from Old World are coming back, which I think the new models look awesome.
Snake we have more opinions about those. Head over to our Bowls forum. We've got a feed up about that right now. We're talking about
it. So we've got those 2 books, plus we have Legions of the Gash, which we saw leaks for already. It's just really interesting.
We're gonna have a lot of stuff. Yeah,
there's gonna. It depends on how they sprinkle the releases in there. If they're gonna double up some weeks and do one for both, or space it out.
But I mean, we got these books a week after each other, right? This one and Custodians were back to back.
It was back to back.
Speaking of it, Phelps wants to know what you guys thought about the LVO games and the coverage and whatnot.
I don't know about the coverage. I didn't really watch much of it, unfortunately.
I mean, the coverage was awesome. I feel like
it was great.
They had the camera, they had the Warhammer TV team there. They had all that stuff going on. If you got to watch those games, You got to see.
We'll talk about that more during our game today. We want to focus on the book for.
But yeah, we'll cover that.
Runic Stone wants to know how important will it be to buy 3 Exalted Sorcerers if I have Armon and a Demon Prince? Will I ever need all 3, or will only one of them, or only one of them? What in 2K range?
I mean, yeah, you don't in the 1 to 2,000 point range. Armon and the Demon Prince alone could be enough. You're not gonna need 3 additional ones.
Yeah, I don't know if you need 3. I would definitely pick one up just because you
just
probably
for the
want that
versatility.
option.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 HQs right there.
I do think they get the best Demon Princes in Chaos.
Oh yeah, Tzeentch Demon Princes are.
Yeah, because they get 2 spells. That's the big thing.
They get 2 spells and they have access to
a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so they're really good. 1,000 Suns Demon Princes are really good.
Yeah.
Between him and Armon, so the key spell that there is the ability the Conclave or whatever. That's just Tzeentch Psychers. You just need 3 Tzeentch Psychers, so you don't need 3 Exalted Sorcerers.
That's true. Yeah.
So if you have Armon and a Demon Prince
and a third
Exalted Champion, but I think the box comes with 3 Exalted Champions in it, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure the box is 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless you're splitting those up with a buddy.
Yeah, or I don't know if there is an option to buy 1. I haven't actually gone out and looked at the boxes, but I know there's a box that comes with 3.
Yeah.
You might as well grab that one. It's definitely not bad.
If you're hunting for planning out your pricing, it's really just going to depend on what you want to do with your army too. Mm-hmm. I think. I mean,
I think honestly, how good this list is gonna depend, and how good that kind of thing is gonna depend on what the smite changes are and if they affect the guys.
That's true.
Because,
very true.
Depending on whether or not they're gonna get a full smite or if it's gonna get really nerfed, really is gonna depend on how you play with these lists.
Well, the Exalted Sorcerers are not affected by the smite change because their smite's normal, right? You're talking about the Aspiring Sorcerers in the units.
Everyone has normal smite in this book.
I thought they had the weakened smite.
No, I don't think so. No, I thought they did. Smite. Don't they have normal smite? I don't know.
The sorcerers, those guys have normal smite.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Exalted Sorcerers that are in the units. Let me try to pull them up real quick. Rubric Marines. When the Aspiring Sorcerer manifests Smite, he inflicts 1 mortal wounds to the D3 or D3 mortal wounds to 6.
You're right, yeah.
So and again, that's just the squad sergeant guy. So
I mean, that's going to affect though how good that list is, and I still think it's good. Like, if you're playing with that ability, having 5 or 6 sorcerers is going to be toned down. But there's still reasons to. But no, you don't. In a 2,000 point list, between Armon, 1 Exalted Sorcerer, and a Demon Prince, you're going to be okay.
I feel like one. Don't. It's bad to ask me what models to buy because I'm a collector. I'm just like, get them all, dude. What's the problem? Just get them all, paint them up, have the option for later. But yeah, if you're trying to budget out an army, I mean, it's really, if you already have a Demon Prince and Armon, you may want to pick up 1 sorcerer just to have.
I mean, I definitely get at least 1 sorcerer.
Yeah.
The other thing to keep in mind is if your Armon is on a disc or not.
Yeah.
Because a number of the abilities affect infantry, and so wouldn't affect a winged Demon Prince or a disc, right?
I think disc. They lose infantry. They lose infantry, but gain fly.
They get fly and cavalry, I think.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you lose infantry, gain demon, cavalry, and fly.
Yeah. So if your Armon's on a disc and you have a Demon Prince, then you may want to get the next step I would do is a foot Exalted Sorcerer because he can take advantage of some of the stratagems and abilities. And then if you wanted another disc one, you get a disc one. Yeah. Something like that. Any last questions out there, Jen?
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left.
Yep.
So get them in while you can.
All right. Well, since we've got nothing else, you guys can talk a little bit about this one then. Our Bryce wants to know what's your best 1 to 2K list consist of out of this book only.
Magnus times 10. No.
10 Magnuses.
10 Magnuses.
I really.
Is that what you call that?
10 Magi.
Magi, yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's really a hard question. It depends on what you want to do. I don't have my favorite 2,000 point list pointed out.
Yeah, you do. It's all Zangors.
I don't know if that's my favorite.
Yeah, favorite. That's tough. Like favorite in terms of like power level awesomeness, or favorite in terms of models, or favorite. I don't know. We're looking at the army right now.
Yeah, I mean we've got armies here, but they're constrained by their points. I haven't done a lot of like wish list building of like because I don't play Thousand Suns, so I'm not. I haven't.
We might. I think after today too, we are gonna be featuring the army on our stream all week.
All week. Yeah.
So we're gonna play with different combinations of it and goof around with it. I think by probably like Wednesday, Abe, you'll probably have some kind of crazy list.
I'll have a better idea.
Yeah.
But again, just like looking at it, I don't know if I was going to build. The problem I had for me is that if I was going to build like my top tier list, it probably wouldn't be a pure 1,000 sun list. They can definitely do a pure 1,000 sun list, but I don't think that's going to be the most efficient one. So I built this 2,000. I built 2,000 point lists. They were basically made on showcasing the stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Zangors. You're gonna have Zangor Enlightens, especially the Enlightens.
All the Enlightens, the bows.
I don't think I would take very many Rubric Marines, sadly. I might take a small squad with Warp Flamers to deep strike and try to do
the warp time trick
and warp time them in or something like that.
Because they have all the warp timing in, and then using the thing to teleport them out and do it again seems pretty cool.
So there's some pretty cool tricks you can do with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I would probably use the Scarab Terminators in my ultimate list.
They're weird because if you take them in a squad of 10, you can take 2 of the missile racks and 2 of the special weapons, so you can generate a lot of firepower. But that's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. Yeah, and I don't know. So
But we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
If you have questions, please drop them in the chat. We will be covering the book throughout the whole week, throughout the whole today specifically too. While we're playing, we have a game lined up ready to go.
Yep.
We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back with a game. Keep dropping your questions in chat. We're gonna collate those and answer those as we're playing. So
and by we, I mean Jen.
Yep, that's me.
Jen's
all
gonna.
Day, every day.
Jen's gonna be collating those. Abe's gonna be playing Matt.
Yep.
I'm gonna go get some more work done.
We're gonna have games tomorrow and Wednesday as well.
Yeah.
And then of course, don't forget that we will be covering stuff on the actual print page. If you want to, if you're still one of those people who reads things.
Who reads things?
No one on Twitch reads things anymore.
Nobody reads words.
Yeah, we're like Star Wars. We're all functionally illiterate.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. No one in Star Wars. There's like a whole theory that no one in Star Wars can actually read.
Holocrons.
I mean, that's why Luke didn't. That's why Luke couldn't read any of the texts, right?
Oh. I thought it's because they were empty.
No, it's because he can't read. That's like a legit theory that no one there's pictographs, they have a Rubish, which is their language, which is kind of pictography, and then no one can actually read. That's why there's no written things.
Jedi no read good.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about that.
Anyway,
1,000 Suns all week here on the Bulls Twitch channel. Thanks for sticking around with us. Again, keep dropping your questions in. Come over to the print section to come read about stuff. Come watch the games.
Yeah. And then we're gonna have other coverage this week. Also, we've got something cool coming up, right, Jen? This next weekend.
Do we have an event going?
We have a tournament next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
This coming weekend.
Yeah.
This weekend we will have a tournament coverage.
Yeah. So we are coming.
And this Wednesday evening, we are hosting the coordinators from Chupacabra Con and Wargame Con here in the studio for a talk on how to coordinate a gaming convention.
Yeah.
That'll be Wednesday evening.
Sweet. So Wednesday evening, come back. If you've ever wanted to do your own con or hear about the headache / labor of love that it is, come check that out.
Or cosplay as a Mongol Con, right? We're going to be covering that too.
What? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. Anyway,
Thank you!
Thanks for watching.